Hi, in this video we are going to see how to use synchronized keyword to acquire lock in multi-threading. Okay, so let us see this code sample. So what we do is in this code first we will create one resource. Okay, so we will create a class. We will write a class printer. This class acts as a resource. Okay, let us write this code. So this printer class has a method void print, and it will take a parameter, string parameter, and it will print that string passed to it, and it will print this manner, like it uses we write system dot out dot println, and we print a opening square bracket, then the the string passed to the message, this method, this message. Then what we do is we will print a closing square bracket, system dot out dot println. We print the closing square bracket, and before, in between, what we do is we will make the thread to sleep for 1000 milliseconds, okay, by using sleep method. So there is a method sleep method. This method belongs to thread class, and we can make the thread to sleep for some time. Since this method throws interrupted exception, we need to call this method inside the try block, and we need corresponding catch block. So this is all about printer class. So printer class is here resource. It has a method print, and this method prints whatever text passed to the method. Okay, so now what we do is we write another class. We write another class, and that class is actually a class which uses the resource. Okay, we can say this class, we can give name of the class as something like class which uses the resource. We can write user. Okay, so this user class, what we do, we make this class to, this class implements runnable interface. Okay, then this class implements runnable interface, and we have few instance variable to this class, like we have we pass the resource to this class, that is a printer object. We have to pass it to this class. Okay, then we pass a message, so string yes. Then we declare a thread. We also write the constructor for this class user, and we pass the constructor. We pass the three objects. One is the printer object, and the message, that is the string. And inside the constructor we set these values to the instance variable, that is we are initializing these instance variable in this constructor. Okay, right, and s equal to msg. Then a we create a thread object and assign it to the variable t. Okay, so we create thread object, thread. Okay, so now we are done with that. So there is an error here. I need to use comma. Okay, so now we have created the written the constructor for this user class, and one more thing is left is the important thing. We have to use, since this class implements runnable interface has a method. We have to implement that method, that is public void run method, and inside the run method we have to call the printer objects print method. Okay, so we will call that method printer dot print, and we have to pass the um, message. That is the string, we have to pass it. So we have user class, we have written it. We have written the printer class, we have written the user class. Now the last step is, inside the main method we create three user objects, and while creating the user object we also pass the printer object to it, and the message we want to print, all these things we will pass it. Okay, and we'll run the code and see how it works. So now we create three user object. So this user object we have to pass the printer object, right? So we need to create printer object as well. Printer equal to new printer, right? So we have created the printer object. Now we pass the printer object. Also we have to pass a message, that is a string we have to pass. I pass hello. Same way I have to, we will create two more user objects. Two more user objects we will create. User 1, u1, u2, and u3. Then in the message, when we pass a message hello, for the second user object we pass message synchronized world. Third user object we pass world. So these three user objects use a printer object to print these messages. And these three user objects are separate three threads. Actually they are three separate threads. So we start the thread by calling the start method, u1 dot t dot start method. You have to call the start method to start the thread. Okay, these three threads compete each other to print these messages. Okay, and we will see how it works, how it is printing. So these threads compete for the resource. So the printer object is a resource, and these three objects, user objects, compete to use this printer object to print the message. You will see how it prints. Okay, and we will ensure that these three threads are completing by calling the join method on that. Okay, and join method, since will um, join method will throw interrupted exception, we have to call this join method inside the try catch block. Okay, let us do that part also. Now we will call this join method inside this try catch block. How to call it? So we can call this way, that is u1 dot join, no, not u1 dot t dot in. Okay, so join. Same way u2 dot p dot join, then u3. This join method ensures that this thread complete finishes. It waits till the thread dies. Once the thread is dead, this join method will return. and it will ensure that these threads are completed. Okay, so now let us run this code and see the output. Okay, so let us run this code and see the output now. So lock demo. See the output now. It is not printing correctly. Actually, we expect the square within square bracket the messages should be printed. That is world synchronized hello. It is not even printing in a order, same order, right? So what we do is, let us use a keyword called synchronized. So this synchronized keyword ensures that a lock is acquired when a thread calls a method. Suppose we let us have a keyword here before the print method, that is synchronized. So this synchronized method ensures that this method, whenever a thread calls this method, a lock is acquired and no other thread can call this method while a thread is executing calling this method. So once the thread method returns, then only the other thread, the lock will be released and then other thread will call the method. This will ensure that the message will be printed inside the square brackets. Okay, so now let us run this code once again and see the output now, right? See, the output is proper, but one small mistake is not a mistake. One small thing we have to do is we, instead of using println method, we have to use print method so that it will print in the same line. So that is the one thing I have to make correction. So now we are done with that part also. Let us run this code once again and see the output now. See, now it is everything is printed in order, right? The messages are printed inside the square brackets. So this is the example for how to use synchronized keyword in multi.